This is IELTS task 2, and even we do have a task in PT. It has the similar compositions which you need to practice here. I just use it here, the word like argumentative composition. So this word has potentially very, very important. And being a student of IELTS or PT, you must have a very clear and viable idea what is meant by the word argumentative. I need your presence here. So what do you understand the word argumentative? Yes. What do you people actually understand the word argumentative?
To argue about something.
For instance, for example,
जैसे अगर एक पॉइंट है, सपोज एक पैसेज है, उसमें कोई भी पॉइंट है, उसके दो ओपिनियन दे देना या फिर आर्ग्यू करना उस चीज से. सपोज अगर पॉजिटिव है, उसके हम नेगेटिव बता के उसको आर्ग्यू करेंगे.
Okay. Yes, you've given a very, very impressive illustrations. The word argumentative, basically why I'm making a very extraordinary stress on that word, to clarify you that when you are going to write something, so you must have an idea that you are writing to argue something. So your job is just to introduce your opinion and to prove the opinion. So in other words, I can say that it's a persuasive compositions. You're persuading your auditors and your audience to write it in your point of view, that how would you be able to prove your argument. So why making this observatory sense? English language has a different way of writing. Could you please just describe this chair? This chair is made of a very soft cushioning. It has two armrests, and you can actually take a lumbar support of this armchair. I'm just writing something to describe it as a chair. There is nothing to argue. There is nothing to produce opinion. So, in fact, that when you are writing an argumentative, you are giving a message to the examiner that your job is just to give your point of view, and you're trying to prove your point of view on this proposition. That is the exclusiveness of this writing. And why students are not getting good scores in written module? Because they're writing descriptively, they're writing narratively, they are not writing to prove something. So your all sentences must have this optics that it gives you, you're trying to prove something. For example, that who will win the next elections? It's very much argumentative. I'm wearing a black shoes is not an argumentative. So you must have a viable and very clear idea that you're writing something and your approach is just to prove something. That is the complete procedural part of my presentations. Yes, next please. Well, this is the anatomy of IELTS, and you'll be given two tasks. Task 1 for 20 minutes, and you should write at least 150 words for the task 1. Have you an idea of the task 1? Do you have an idea? Basically, my lectures and my suggestion is completely different from task 1. That you do not try to intermingle the suggestions of the task 1 and task 2. I'll be discussing today for the 40 minutes of exercise that you need to write, and write at least 250 words for your compositions. And in PT, we need to write approximately 150 or 200 words. 200 words should be written for the PT. Similar marks, similar criteria, but in IELTS, you need to write at least 250 words. I'm making a word 250 at least means, what does it mean by that? You can exceed that. We shouldn't write less than these words. If you will write less than these words, you'll be penalized. And computer-based examination has resolved this controversy that it can equally explaining you on the screen that how many words you're writing on the screen and how many words has been elapsed. So it has a clear justification. So now the question arises, I was teaching in before paper-based, as I need to discuss a lot of things about paper-based, but in computer-based, it's very clear. Your screen is telling you how many words have you written that? So it is giving you clarity. So no need to worry about the at least words. Next, please. Yes, so just format and task answer. Everyone should read that. If you have any kind of confusion, so please raise it to me. And I'll try to make these presentations more social, okay? More not interpersonal. So anything which disturbs you, which needs more clarifications, so please do not hesitate to contact these presentations. And the writing is one of the most serious document, and it will be checked on very serious temperament. So you have to be very much clear on these propositions. Next, please. Yes, all the questions will be given to you either in PT, on IELTS, or language cert, or any examinations. Your question has two parts. And student has a very categorical sense of describing and discriminating between these two parts. Firstly, there is the main questions, and the questions along with the guideline questions is telling you. For example, a question is here: do you think a trial by the jury should be used in all criminal cases? And this is the main questions. You have to write that. Either you will prefer to write that I think that the jury must not consider the past events whenever he will be accounting the current situation of any criminal offensive situations. But some believe that no, I think that his past actually has an inconsiderable impact on his futuristics and concurrent situations, so we cannot deny completely. So this is, everything is completely your customized responsibility. I'm telling you one thing, there is no marks deductions. If you think that you'll be agreed, you will be given more marks. If you will be disagreed, you lost your marks. No, this is not the examination criteria. Whatever the stance you can actually uphold, you need to propose it according to your probability. That is, in fact, important thing. This is the first part of your question. The next part of the question is telling you present and justify an opinion. Okay, so whatever the stance did you take that, so you can present it. In my point of view, and people may disagree with me, but I believe that the jury, or in fact the jurisdiction system of a court, must actually consider his all criminal cases which he has a dominance effectivity, and I believe it because the person who was in the past, it has an attitude or aptitude, it may impact on his concurrent situations. You can actually propose this opinion. And how would you like to justify that? Again, is it argumentative? I'm telling you that you need to prove that you are on this part or you're on that part. You need to clarify to your examiner by giving exemplifications. Are you getting me? So your question has the two parts. Number one is the main questions, and second one is your guidelines, that which guideline you have to take that. IELTS writing compositions, or in PT, you have two strongest reservations. Number one, you have a limited time, and you need to write a very limited words. You cannot allow to write a dossiers. Even in PT, we highly discourage students, do not write more than 200 words. If you will write that, you're giving an opportunity to your AI machine to comment on your understanding. So we will ask them. But in IELTS, we can actually ask students to go for exceedingly 50 words or 60 words. There's no remarkable effect on your compositions. Are you getting me?